evening and good night to some of you. This is a very special broadcast, and of course, we must pray. And prayer we must, this very evening and always going forward. And I will pray in the language of heaven, because Chukwukika Biama is in control of all that we have been doing and will continue to do until Biafra is restored and all the suffering indigenous populations in the damnable zoological republic are set free. Chineke na nke pụrụ m ihe niile Chukwukika Biama onye na-efe na aja aha nsọ ya mma mgbe niile. Onye ọbụla ya na-achị eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị amara gị n'ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị na-eze ebede ngọzi. Anyị wee na-etoghị agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro. Iwe nye anyị ndụ ala nke dị n'uwedo n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-asị na ịja mma niile otu niile dịrị aha nsọ gị. Onye ọ bụ naanị aka ike niile na ọ gbadara aka ya. Anyị wee na-akpọku gị na-asị gị na nke ọma anyị ga-ekele gị, nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-eto gị, wee na-asọpụrụ gị n'isi ụmụ gị niile bụ ndị ikwu ndị wee ezi oku mgbe a kpọrọ ha ka ha wee chekwaa ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na ihe n'ikwuru anyị nkwa na o mekataghị ka ndị iro wee were ala nsọ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe. Agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro ma ndị na-agba mgbagba ebe niile dị iche iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna n'ihere bụ nke ndị dị etu a n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-eto gị, wee na-asị onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na ọtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise ise ise.
Welcome, my fellow Biafrans. Thank you so much for joining me wherever you are joining from. If you are joining me from Biafra land, you are joining from Asia, you are joining from America, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand, whichever part of the world you are joining from, I say may Chukwukika Biama continue to guide and protect you. As always, I always come here on daily basis to speak on the issues that matters, issues that concern Biafra people. In extension, issues that concern every indigenous tribe in the contraption called Nigeria. We are not being selfish about the freedom. We are asking for the freedom of everybody. The freedom we are asking for is a very big one, infectious one that is going to affect everybody. When that freedom comes, it's going to affect everybody. That is the freedom we are talking about. We are not asking for the death of anybody. And I must tell you, we do not support the killing of innocent people in any way. IPOB, Biafrans do not support taking life of innocent people for any reason whatsoever. We don't take the life of innocent people. And we regret every life that has been lost in this very issue on daily basis in Biafra land. It doesn't matter the religion the person is. It doesn't matter the nationality the person is. It doesn't matter where they belong. We do not support the killing of innocent people in Biafra land. No Biafran will support that, because we Biafrans, we value life. We value life. Mazen Nandekano himself is somebody who holds life dearly to himself. He values life. He will never support taking life of innocent people. So you have to put that in record. If anybody is trying to blackmail you, to make you stop saying what you're saying, to make you to begin to speak in a different direction, to make you to run away from the truth, don't shake. We know what we want, and the world know whom we are. We respect life. We value life. And we cannot change. It doesn't matter the attack they bring from east, west, north, and south. We know the value of life, and we do not support the taking of life of innocent people. We do not support it in any way. But after saying this, now we go into our main topic today. The political states, the politicians we have in Biafra land, the politicians we have in the southern region, mainly in the Biafra land, they are playing the role of the caliphate. They have all sold out, and they are solely responsible for the deaths you are seeing in Biafra land. The people that are responsible for the lives that are being lost in Biafra land today are the politicians. The politicians, the governors you see. The governors you see in Biafra land, the politicians, they are the ones responsible for every single thing you are seeing today. Mazen Nandekano has been warning them before this time. Mazen Nandekano has been sending out the warning, crying and sending out the warning, protect the people, protect your people, secure your people, and they refused. Mazen Nandekano cried and cried and cried and shouted and called them, even in writing. Mazen Nandekano put it in writing and sent to them. Organize a security outfit to protect the people. They refused to do so. Today, you have seen the outcome. Mazen Nandekano went on his own way to establish Eastern Security Network to protect our people from the invaders that are coming from outside. He succeeded in doing that. And what these governors do, instead of these governors supporting his move to legitimize it to protect the Southeastern region, they begin to demonize it. They begin to demonize the ESN. They didn't only stop by talking, they begin to produce some kinds of security outfit to counter the ESN. They begin to produce all manner of counter region to be able to counter what Mazen Nandekano has done. And at the end of the day, we saw that we are producing the unknown gunmen we are talking about today. They ended up producing it. They didn't stop at that. They didn't stop at that. Even when they tried to destroy the ESN, they could not succeed. They went ahead to go to the federal government to ask for Boko Haram military, which they know. They went to ask for the military. They know very well that the military of Nigeria has been infiltrated with the Boko Haram. They know that military of Nigeria are members of Boko Haram, and they went further to go and request for that military. Today, you can see what is happening in Biafra land. Biafra land has become a war zone. They are taking the life of innocent people. But at the end of the day, you see them blaming the agitator, blaming the sit at home. It doesn't matter how much they blame. It doesn't matter how they try to blackmail us. It cannot work. Today, you saw that Biafrans were also sitting at home. Our Supreme Mazen Nandekano was supposed to be in court today. But as their usual game, they continue to postpone because they have no case against Mazen Nandekano. They postpone the case, thinking they're going to deceive us and distract us from what we are doing. But Biafrans are not distracted. We are still sitting at home, not being forced. Take note, not being forced, on our own, individually, sitting at home to air our opinion, to make sure that we demand for our freedom, demand for referendum, demand for the freedom of every single Biafran that is being held captive. Sitting at home to let the world hear our voice loud and clear that we must continue, that we must have our freedom. Today, Biafrans sat at home against all the attack and all the intimidation, all the misery that are coming from all corners. They can't stand. These politicians have seen that the Biafrans are taking a strong stance. They can't hold it, and they have gone ahead to destroy their own people. The destruction you are seeing in Biafra land today, including the innocent life that have been lost, it doesn't matter their religion, it doesn't matter their region. It is these same politicians that are playing this game. They are playing this game to demonize the Biafran people, to demonize the agitators, to make sure that they blackmail the agitators, using their hoodlums from all corners, including their DSS. Every single one of them have formed their group. Every politician have their own unknown gunmen. The federal government have their own unknown gunmen, which they have been using from time immemorial. But every time they try to drive our attention, remove our attention, and begin to show us a different thing. Today, you see what is happening in Anambra State. I want you to ask Soludo. If Soludo says that he doesn't know what is happening in Anambra State, Soludo is a liar. Soludo is a liar. Sometimes when we are talking, we are only speaking out to call attention of Soludo because he should stop pretending. He should stop pretending not to know what the problem is. Soludo knows what the problem in Anambra is. And if he wants the problem to be solved, he knows how to solve the problem. But instead, Soludo is playing the script of the Janjaweed, trying to demonize the Biafran struggle. From every indication, each time you see Soludo speak, you will see Soludo trying to relate the destruction, the obstruction, the lives that have been lost. He begins to relate it to Biafra agitators, even when he knows that we are not involved. Each time you see Soludo speak, he will try to demonize the Biafra agitators. He will try to demonize his own people. He will call them different kinds of names. Each time he comes out, he calls different kinds of names, pretending not to know what the problem is. But even when Soludo was not a governor, Soludo was at the side, seeing every information was coming out. Informations were being fed out. Every single one of us, every person in that country called Nigeria was seeing information and revelations of the cause of insecurity in Biafra land, the cause of insecurity in Anambra State itself. How it all started. It started from their politicians. It is started from their politician and their rivalry. That was where it started. But you see, Soludo, each time Soludo come to make a speech, Soludo will put more fuel on the fire. How do you come and continue to blame the victim? Each time you come out to make your broadcast, you continue to blame the victim and continue to demonize the victims. You never go to them. How many times have you had Soludo visit people, innocent people who have lost their life in the hand of these criminals? How many times have you seen Soludo going to talk to those people whom their houses have been burned, businesses destroyed, lives being lost in their family? Every time you see him come out, is either when their secretariat is being attacked. That's when you see him visiting the secretariat. When a politician is affected, you see him shouting. But when the innocent Biafran life have been smoked out, Soludo will never talk. And yet he pretends to love Biafra so much. Everything we are saying is not out of hate. We are calling the attention of Soludo. He knows what to do. He knows what to follow. Look at the recent speech he made. Recent broadcast he made, which I'm going to play for you. You will listen. You will listen to that broadcast and see how Soludo was trying to demonize the Biafrans. His own brothers. He was calling us names. Calling us names, demonizing us, giving us all manner of evil names. Even though when he knows that we are the victim, not the oppressors. Instead of Soludo standing with his own people, Soludo was busy calling names on Biafra, using hard words, pouring fuel on the fire that is already burning. If Soludo is sincere to himself and he truly wants to maintain peace in Anambra State, he knows what to do. He knows where the problem is from. He knows what to do. I have said it yesterday in my other broadcast that they know what to do. The insecurity you are seeing in Biafra land is being orchestrated by the politicians themselves. By the politicians, sponsored by the federal government itself. It is the federal government that is sponsoring the politicians, using them and their DSS to cause mayhem. These are the people who are doing. We don't support any criminality. Biafran agitators do not support criminality. If you are a criminal, you involve in taking the life of innocent people, go after that person and arrest that person and deal with the person the best way you can. That is your duty as the chief security of a state. The chief security of a state has the responsibility to make sure there is peace in the state, to make sure you fish out evil men, bad people. That is what Soludo is supposed to be doing. But chief secretary of the state always come out to read a speech that was written. A written speech. A professor cannot even come and speak from his own heart. A professor will only come and begin to terrorize people, begin to demonize people, begin to call his own people name, even when he knows very well what the problem is. If Soludo says he doesn't know what the problem is and those who are responsible, Soludo is a liar. But he can't go after them because they are doing the same thing that he is called to do, to stop the struggle of Biafra. They are doing the same thing that he's called to do, to stop the struggle of Biafra. But you cannot stop the struggle of Biafra. I want you to listen to what Soludo was saying and the way he was making his speech. Look at that speech. Does that look like somebody who wants to maintain peace? The way he was demonizing the people and shifting the blame all to the indigenous people of Biafra, people who are legitimately fighting a right cause. He is trying to blame them, blaming the victim, pouring all manner of insult on them, calling his own people criminals. Listen to that very thing, that very broadcast that Soludo gave, and tell me if what you will hear from there is something that a governor who is talking to his own people, his own children, his own people, his own blood, is that the way he's supposed to address them if he sincerely wants a solution? Let us hear him.
The families of the various victims were working around the clock with the security agencies, and we believe by the special grace of God the perpetrators must be brought to book. Let us be very clear. The criminals who are doing this, causing mayhem in Anambra, albeit disparate groups and gangs, are Igbos, dominantly from other Southeast states, whose real objective is lucrative criminality and foisting their idolatrous religion on the region. Unfortunately, Every criminal gang today, including cult groups, claims to be, quote, to be a liberation movement, unquote, making it difficult to differentiate between any genuine agitators from criminals. Unfortunately also, the criminals now dominate the space. Anambra is the prime target because that is the most lucrative location for kidnapping for ransom in the southeast. With their immense propaganda machine, funded largely by their sponsors abroad, they have tried everything to indoctrinate the people with all kinds of false emotive narratives and divert attention from their real objectives. They claim to be, quote, fighting for the people, and yet randomly kill the same people, destroying their livelihood and stopping their children from going to school. What has agitation to do with kidnapping, including kidnapping of priests of God, invasion of churches and tabernacles, including desecration of the altars of God? Why is it that everywhere they gather and in every camp they operate, there is a deity or idol to which they routinely offer blood in sacrifice? From accounts of those kidnapped and later freed, the stench of dead bodies in the camps cry up to heaven. We see videos of them and their idol worship. We note their threats to priests and bishops, including threatening to take over some churches. The truth is that this tiny minority, certainly far from less than 0.1% of us, is bent upon challenging the foundation of the things that make us who we are. Ladies and gentlemen, our people are known for a couple of things among others. The first is enterprise. We are known for our enterprise, but these people are bent on killing our businesses by the forceful sit-at-home, kidnapping for ransom, forceful taxation of communities, businesses, and individuals, etc. Christianity. The people of the Southeast, especially Anambra, are predominantly Christians. But with this gang, idolatry is back with vengeance. They forcefully try to convert people, especially the young ones, to idolatry by initiating them into cults, swearing oaths to their deities, etc., with the promise of invincibility. Consequently, these youths join them as members and as informants. Desecration of our culture. Spilling of the blood of the innocent is considered an abomination by our culture and by our Christian religion. We understand that they kill and harvest human organs for rituals and human sacrifice in their so-called camps. With their new religion of idolatry and deadly weapons, which they use to kill at random, they have tried to create a culture of fear and silence. More recently, the people have begun to question their propaganda, their motive and their means, and they know that they have lost the sympathy of the people. That explains why they desperately try to ignite a national interethnic crisis by killing some innocent northerners who have lived peacefully in our state for decades to divert attention from their criminality and then seek to rebrand themselves as, quote, defenders of the people. They have failed and will continue to fail. Millions of our people live in the north and other parts of Nigeria, and the Anambra people are known for their uncommon hospitality. In most homes in Anambra, non-indigenous live happily as tenants or as landlords, pursuing their legitimate businesses, and this won't change. We pride ourselves as the light of the nation, and Anambra will continue to be a land of opportunity for every Nigerian, as well as non-Nigerians. We will continue to work hard with security agencies to ensure security of life and property in our state. Umunnem de Anambra, the hour has come for us to step up our game and take back our state. The tiny but vicious gangs that have invaded our state and terrorized us are mostly in 8 local governments in Anambra and 3 neighboring local governments in Imo State. They are in our forests, they are in our communities and houses owned by individuals. They don't come from the air and hence are not unknown gunmen. They are not unknown. They are known. You know them, but are either too scared to speak out or out of indifference. But for how long will you be silent while our people continue to be killed in the most cruel and barbaric manner? It is
You have heard the speech of Soludo. When you look at that speech critically, are you going to tell me that that is a sincere word from somebody who wants to maintain peace? What Soludo have just read, is that a sincere word from somebody who wants to maintain peace? Soludo started by accusing all the Igbo people that it is Igbos who are perpetrating the evil in Anambra State, that they are all Igbos. Soludo started by trying to demonize the Biafran people, that it is the Biafran people that are perpetrating the evil. He didn't stop there. Soludo went to a state to demonize the traditionalists, begin to demonize the traditionalists, to begin to accuse them, to jam them with Christianity. Soludo tried to bring another divide and rule into Anambra State. He went ahead to begin to accuse other neighboring states, Biafran neighboring states, accusing other states of being responsible for the insecurity in Anambra State. Is this a sincere speech? Do Soludo have a sincere intention making all this speech he has not made? When you listen to his speech critically, you see that Soludo is the one that will answer the last question he asked, that shall we continue to allow our people die in vain? Shall we continue to keep quiet and watch Biafran life being taken? Shall we continue to keep silent and watch Anambra people lose their life? Soludo should answer that question. And when Soludo speaks, when you hear his speech, you'll be wondering, is Soludo not in Nigeria? Even before Soludo became a governor, wasn't he in Nigeria? There has been a lot of information how this insecurity in Anambra State started. How this insecurity in Anambra State started, the war that the politician created in Anambra State, how it all started. Soludo cannot tell me that I don't know about it. But Soludo, each time he talks about it, before you know it, he will arrive at sit at home. He blamed the sit at home for the insecurity. He will blame the agitators for insecurity. He will blame those who are living abroad for insecurity. Because those of us who are staying abroad are creating awareness, letting our people know how to secure themselves and know how to protect themselves and know that which is right and wrong. Is that a crime? How is that offense? We are not calling anybody to pick up any and to go and kill any innocent person. I have not done such on my platform. And so many Biafra agitators have not done such. To begin to call for the death of an innocent people. We don't do that. All we are asking, the highest thing we ask there is people to defend themselves, and self-defense is being guaranteed by international law, and guaranteed by African Charter law, guaranteed by Nigerian law. Even Nigerians itself, their Minister of Defense have called for self-defense by the people. That is what they're asking for. But the insecurity in Anambra State, is Soludo telling me that he is not aware the cause of the insecurity? If he's not aware, I am going to play a video. After playing the video, when you watch, you can send it to anybody who will take that video to Soludo in case he has been all blind all this while. In case he has not been watching, in case he has not been following up, maybe he's not living on this planet. But those of us who are online, we follow every event, and everything we hear, we keep record. That is why when things happen, we play video. We play video again to remind them the cause of what is happening. I am going to play a video that was made in their conventional media. It is not on social media. In conventional media, in the national media, where the whole world was listening, the cause of the insecurity in Anambra State. Somebody came to speak about the cause of the insecurity in Anambra State. When it started, how it all started, and those who are involved. It was mentioned. Soludo closed a blind eye. Today, Soludo is blaming Biafran people, that Biafran people are the ones responsible. He is going to the extent of blaming other neighboring states to create division and create enmity between Anambrians and other states. The speech of Soludo is not a sincere one. We are not attacking him, but Soludo should stop allowing our people to die. He knows what to do. He should be sincere about making peace in Anambra State. Be sincere about it. Follow it up and be sincere. You are the chief secretary of the state. Follow it and be sincere. Nobody deserves to lose his life. No Biafran deserves to lose his life. Even a foreigner, even our visitors in Biafra, they don't deserve to die. They don't deserve to die. Our visitors in Biafra land don't deserve to die. But today, you see our visitors being killed by the DSS themselves. They kill and then they blame IPOB, they blame ESN, they blame Biafra themselves. This is what I want you to watch this video. Watch this video closely. After watching the video, you tell me, does it mean that Soludo has not been in Nigeria all this while when this man was saying all these things? Watch this video. What?
Governor Obiano went to complain to President Buhari that politicians were inducing false flag operations in the East. And you know that for a governor to say that, don't forget, when asked on channel television, Governor Zodima also said the same thing, that there were false flag operations being carried out by politicians. Obiano has repeated it. I have said that on this station twice. I've said that on channels. I've said that on the BBC. That these are false flag operations being committed by fifth columnists working for the Buhari administration.
Do you have your claim? Do you have your proof?
Yes, one proof, let me tell you. I was in Owerri the day when there was the raid and burning of the police headquarters. I watched from my hotel room as they operated for 3 hours, 20 minutes. Later in the morning, I went to the police headquarters to check. I was looking. No single gunshot. When I later asked, was any policeman killed? They said no. Did people kill anybody? They said no. So how could that happen? For 3 hours, 20 minutes, and there is no reaction. That meant there was a stand down. And the only authority that can instruct an actionable stand down is order from above. With that, I concluded these things are staged. So, and if you look at the government, they're not honest.
Why do you think someone will be interested in staging such actions?
Because the people who work for President Buhari are the same people who work with him for Sani Abacha. He took the death of Sani Abacha for Sergeant Rochas to come confess at the Puta panel that all they were doing were false flag operations.
What exactly are they trying to gain?
What were they trying to gain under Sani Abacha government when they were doing false flag operations, trying to create impression? It was the what do they call it, Nadeco. So what they were trying to do there is that a bunch of.
Did you hear him? Did you hear him? He has spoken it right. That the insecurity you are seeing in Anambra State is a false flag operation. That is what he called it. A false flag operation in Anambra State. Sponsored by the federal government. He mentioned it, Muhammad Buhari himself. Obiano attested to it. Before this man who is calling himself Soludo came, this thing was happening. A false flag operation by the federal government to destroy the South, to destroy Anambra State. A false flag operation by the DSS, sponsored by federal government of Nigeria with the late Muhammad Buhari. That is what is going on in Anambra State. And Soludo is keeping a blind eye as if he's not seeing what is happening. Soludo is busy demonizing his own people, calling us names, looking at IPOB, looking on Biafran people, telling us that it's from neighboring states. This was a revelation that came. Even when before Soludo come, this information was there. This was the genesis of the thing you are seeing in Anambra State today. The genesis of the trouble you are seeing in Anambra, the genesis of the destruction you are seeing, the insecurity you are seeing in Biafra land. This is the genesis. The genesis of the insecurity you are seeing in Biafra land. That is it. The man called it by its name, false flag operation by the federal government, sponsored by the federal government through Muhammad Buhari and co. And today, they are using their politicians on different angles, staging their false flag operations everywhere with their military. Go and check the videos that are coming out. People they call on gunmen. The recent video I saw of go and check them. You see well-equipped military men, well-trained military men, some of them on uniform, operating on broad daylight. They will operate on broad daylight in Southeast, where the military has taken over everywhere. In a militarized zone like Southeast, yet these people operate on broad daylight. Nobody will be arrested. Yet you see Soludo coming out. Soludo will come out and begin to pretend that he doesn't know who is responsible. That's why I tell you there is no sincerity in all these politicians. They are not sincere. If they want to stop the insecurity, they will stop it, but they don't want to stop it. I want you to watch it again. Listen to it again so that you can understand very well. Listen to it again.
Governor Obiano went to complain to President Buhari that politicians were inducing false flag operations in the East. And you know that for a governor to say that, don't forget, when asked on channel television, Governor Zodima also said the same thing, that there were false flag operations being carried out by politicians. Obiano has repeated it. I have said that on this station twice. I've said that on channels. I've said that on the BBC. That these are false flag operations being committed by fifth columnists working for the Buhari administration.
Do you have your claim? Do you have your proof?
Yes, one proof, let me tell you. I was in Owerri the day when there was the raid and burning of the police headquarters. I watched from my hotel room as they operated for 3 hours, 20 minutes. Later in the morning, I went to the police headquarters to check. I was looking. No single gunshot. When I later asked, was any policeman killed? They said no. Did people kill anybody? They said no. So how could that happen? For 3 hours, 20 minutes, and there is no reaction. That meant there was a stand down. And the only authority that can instruct an actionable stand down is order from above. With that, I concluded these things are staged. So, and if you look at the government, they're not honest.
Why do you think someone will be interested in staging such actions?
Because the people who work for President Buhari are the same people who work with him for Sani Abacha. He took the death of Sani Abacha for Sergeant Rochas to come confess at the Puta panel that all they were doing were false flag operations.
What exactly are they trying to gain?
What were they trying to gain under Sani Abacha government when they were doing false flag operations, trying to create impression? It was the what do they call it, Nadeco. So what they were trying to do there is that a bunch of
you had him. All this information are out there, and yet the governor of Anambra State, Soludo, pretend not to see them. Soludo is busy looking to places where that nothing exists. Soludo is busy looking where something does not exist instead of looking inward within his fellow politicians who are the origin of this very insecurity in the Southeast. The origin of the insecurity in the Southeast. His predecessor said it, that these are false flag operations when he went to complain to Buhari. Politically motivated killings. These are the people that are destroying the life of people in Biafra land. Yet, you see a man who claimed to be standing for peace. When we say it, people think we are attacking. We are not attacking him, but we are pointing him to the right direction. He should focus on the right direction. Focus on the right direction. The cause of the insecurity in Biafra land is caused by the government of Nigeria, by the federal government. Federal government are sponsoring the false flag operations in Biafra land to take the life of innocent people. False flag operation is taking place in Biafra land. That is why you have so much insecurity, mainly in Anambra, taking the life of innocent people. They can take the life of anybody. They don't care. They can take life in order to create ethnic tension. Just like the recent one you see. The recent one you see where the innocent woman and her family was killed. They can create ethnic tension. They can do anything to make sure they create havoc. That is the false flag operation that they are in for. All these informations are there. He pretends not to see it. If that one is not enough for him, I am going to play another one. The one, his neighboring state, because he mentioned Imo State when he was calling two villages in Imo State. He mentioned Imo State. The chief security of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, have come time without number to say that the people who are perpetrating the evil are politicians. They are not members of IPOB. They are not agitators. They are not ESN. Hope Uzodinma was very blunt to say it. Are you going to tell me that he didn't see that? I will play it for you. I'll play the video for you, because when we say something, I play the video so that you can see it and remember. Watch.
Imo State currently is passing through a trying period. Imo State is passing through a trying period, a period where things that were not known before to us are happening. The killing of innocent human beings, the burning of government assets and public assets, burning down of police stations, local governments, politics with bitterness. We have been confronted with this situation. We have done our best as Christians not to follow the old law of an eye for an eye. We've been praying to Almighty God, and it was our hope and expectation that this period of Lent and Easter will touch the heart of those who are sponsoring violence in Imo State, who are taking lives, letting innocent blood, that God will touch their hearts to repent. These people are just wicked politicians. If anybody tells you that IPOB is the one killing people in Olu zone, it is not correct. Wicked politicians are sponsoring the killings in Olu. Last week in Oberuru, the APC ward chairman was killed in his house. The APC secretary was killed in his house. APC woman leader was killed in his house. I have cross-checked. Since the inception of this banditry, not one PDP man has died. Not one PDP man, his house has been attacked or burnt. So it is very clear to me that these people are after APC. I am sorry for those who will come in a very naked daylight and want to be after government. Only a weak government can allow that.
You heard him. I hope you heard Hope Uzodinma. These are the people who are orchestrating the insecurity you're seeing in Biafra land, including he himself, Hope Uzodinma. Every single one of them know themselves, and every one of them have a group of unknown gunmen, including him that just spoke, Hope Uzodinma that just spoke. He has his own group. He has his own death squad. He has his own death squad. That is why, even since he made this statement, he has never come out to bring one politician out and say this is the person that is doing this very thing. He never done. Because you know the implication. He knows the implication. These are politically orchestrated war that they have brought to the Southeast, being sponsored by the federal government of Nigeria. Buhari is using this very Hope Uzodinma and other fellow politicians to destabilize the southeastern part of Nigeria. It is the same federal government that is empowering all these politicians that are causing this mayhem. All these informations are out there. But yet, you see Soludo, who claimed to love Biafra. He is busy demonizing the Biafran people. He's busy telling us that Igbo people are killing themselves. They are the ones killing themselves. He is busy telling us that ESN and IPOB is responsible. He is busy trying to blackmail the people who are agitating for their freedom. He's busy blackmailing people who are sitting at home. But all these informations are there. Did you hear Hope Uzodinma? Hope Uzodinma, the evil man in Imo State, even opened his mouth. Chukwuka forced him to open his mouth and vindicate IPOB. That they don't have any hand in the killings. That it is politicians. In case you didn't hear it clearly, I'm going to play it again so that you can hear it clearly. What Hope Uzodinma said, that IPOB is not responsible. Last time I played the one that a security officer said that IPOB is not responsible. Today, you are hearing it again. From Chief Secretary of a State, one of the evil men who have his own unknown gunmen, confessing that IPOB is not involved.
These people are just wicked politicians. If anybody tells you that IPOB is the one killing people in Olu zone, it is not correct. Wicked politicians are sponsoring the killings in Olu. Last week in Oberuru, the APC ward chairman was killed in his house. The APC secretary was killed in his house. APC woman leader was killed in his house. I have cross-checked. Since the inception of this banditry, not one PDP man has died. Not one PDP man, his house has been attacked or burnt. So it is very clear to me that these people are after APC.
You heard him.
Are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you, if you come and stand on the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold all of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals. They're saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You cannot go everywhere. We must continue.